Hello everybody, and welcome to my first video on this brand new YouTube channel where I am here to share some experiences and advice and information that I do have on working in the healthcare field, as I have been working as a certified nursing assistant for the last 4 years. I'm getting ready to go on in my own nursing journey, and I will be starting a full-time LPN program for nursing school this fall, and I am so excited for that. And so I've just felt led on my spirit, because that is coming up and I know that my time working as a nursing assistant is becoming lesser and lesser, I would love to share the information that I have gained over the last several years of working in this field, the highs and the lows, the challenges, the pros and cons, and anything that comes up that I feel might benefit another person who may be interested in working in healthcare or pursuing the field of nursing. Just want to let the viewers of this channel know as well that I am a believer in Jesus Christ, and I am a Christian. In my own life, as I've been pursuing healthcare and a career in nursing, I will be sharing a lot about those beliefs and how this work has impacted my faith and vice versa. And so I'm just putting that out there so there's no surprises. And if that is something that does not resonate with you, feel free to click off the video, and you certainly do not have to stick around and watch anymore. This will be a safe space, and any kind of rude comments about faith or religion or anything like that, I will just delete it and I will just block it away. So just so you guys are aware, I will be sharing my faith in these videos. Working as a nursing assistant has provided me a livable wage, despite what the internet says about nursing assistants being underpaid but overworked, which I can agree with. Working as a nursing assistant, though, however, has been able to provide me enough money and enough means to live on my own, to pay all of my bills, all of my expenses, with no one else contributing to that. So I've been completely independent as a woman, being able to support my life with everything that I need, necessities, clothes, rent, everything, insurance, groceries, all that stuff, while working as a certified nursing assistant. I personally see the job as a pro and whole because I have been able to be independent as a woman and be able to provide all of my needs in that way. The wages that I have earned, this is where I will share some pay transparency with working on the West Coast. The wages that I have earned have varied through different positions and job roles. And with this kind of work, it grows over time. It grows over time, and it also grows by negotiation, which I would encourage people out there, if you are interviewing places and you have other skills aside from nursing assistant, maybe you have another degree or you have other experiences that just make you more of a qualified, valuable candidate, I would highly encourage you, if you're able to, counter someone's offer. With myself in my early journey, when I first started out with no CNA license, just as a caregiver in a nursing home in a memory care unit, I had a previous college degree that I was able to use as a value to counter an initial low offer for me to come on and join their team. Not only can your rate grow over time, also when you just change environments. I made more in hospice as a nursing assistant than I did working in the hospital, than I did working in a memory care unit. So it just depends on your area. It depends on the workplace, what they're willing to offer. And a lot of these places can be involved with a union as well. And to my understanding, they are paying you based off of your years worked of experience. So it really does not matter in those kind of scenarios, your negotiation, because they literally cannot. It just is what it is. And I experienced that when I went to go work at a hospital. So the wage was between $23 base rate. There was some shift differentials, and of course you get holiday pay and things like that, but like the base rate for most of my day shift was only about 23 something an hour until it hit a certain time of day, and then I would make a little bit more money. And of course, if you pick up overtime, then you're getting that pay rate and everything else. So I share this as a big pro that it can provide financial security. And there's also other ways to make more money as a CNA. There's a lot of opportunities to work overtime in facilities, hospitals, home health care. So many places offer PRN positions as well. There's a lot of people who have a part-time or a full-time job, and then they go pick up PRN or just working per day as needed somewhere else because they want more hours, they want to make more money. So there are other ways to be able to increase your income. I also remember working in a memory care unit where if you picked up a shift, not only did you make the overtime, but they would also provide you with a work bonus. You would just get an extra $50, sometimes even $100 to pick up an extra shift when they literally had a bare bone crew on the unit and they needed more workers, they needed more people, so they did not have to call in other agencies to come in and fill those shifts. So there's a lot of ways to make more money as a nursing assistant, as well as getting supplemental certifications and training, which would allow you to use your license in other kind of specialty places, like working as an ER tech or working in pediatrics as a nursing assistant. Those are not things that I have done personally, but I have seen those things and watched videos about it through research when I was just looking up other things to do with the license. There's also people who take up travel contracts as a nursing assistant. I've heard people doing this locally, as well as flying out to another state and taking a contract where people want to travel and they want to go live somewhere else for a couple of weeks, and then they go back home when they're done. So there's a lot of different places to work, like I said, that might pay a little bit more than the others, and there's different creative ways to make more money while working as a nursing assistant. So I do feel like this is a huge pro, because in the world we're living in right now, to be able to have options and the ability to work overtime and have a lot of different ways you can use the license, even working PRN some places, I feel like that's an incredible gift. It can allow somebody to essentially earn as much as you want to make with the license that you have. If you want to work more, a lot of the times you can. So it totally depends on where you work and what they allow and all of that. But that is what I will say about the financial security element. Another pro about working as a nursing assistant is having a lot of options for your schedule. In that being, there's a lot of different ways you can use your license and work and have a flexible schedule. Whether you want to work PRN, you only want to work as needed, or you want to work part-time, or you want to work full-time. And in all of those options, how it works in the nursing assistant world is a lot of the time there's different time blocks for shifts. So there might be the knock shift that works a set amount of hours and the overnight hours. And then the evening shift can look something like maybe 2 to 10 or 3 to 11, depending on where you're working. And an AM shift or morning shift, day shift, which could start from 6 to 2 if you're working in the nursing home or a rehab setting, or it could be working 12-hour shifts there in those kind of settings, or in a hospital, which could be like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then the overnight shift comes and takes 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for the knock shift. So there's a lot of different options available for people, and I have personally loved this a lot while being a pre-nursing student and needing to take online classes and at times in-person classes, which when I needed the ability to have more control over my schedule in that way and be present during the day for class, or having hours available for outside of work things and stuff like that. So a lot of people who do this job have families and they have children. I personally do not. Flexibility of these different schedule options, I feel like, would be a great blessing for somebody who had a family or who had children or pets and things like that, to be able to tend to those things and other responsibilities outside of work. CNAs are in demand everywhere. I'm always seeing open positions for nursing assistants. They're at the memory care, they're at the rehab, they're at the hospital, they're in home health, they're in outside caregiving agencies. There's so many different ways. Adult family homes also. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There's so many different opportunities where somebody could work with this license. Over the last couple of years, I have changed my job several different times within the same city or surrounding cities, and I never had a problem finding another opportunity, which gave me a lot of relief It gave me a sense of security. It gave me a sense of peace. And I've been very grateful to have that, especially in a time right now when some things can feel uncertain with people in their careers and their jobs. So I would definitely recommend working as a CNA to anybody. I recently relocated cities as well back in December, and when I moved, again, I did not have a problem getting a new job. I took a job for like a month and a half, and it really wasn't a good fit for me. I did not enjoy that environment, and lo and behold, I get another job within a couple of weeks. I'm already working in a new position that I love, and it feels way more aligned with where I am in life. So that is a huge pro. Who doesn't love job security? Because I certainly do. And at times when I have known, like, okay, this environment is not working out for me anymore, sometimes working as a CNA can feel very stressful. And if a place does not have appropriate patient to staff ratios, personally, that has contributed to more of an accelerated burnout and me no longer really enjoying showing up for work when I'm overstretched and I'm rushing and it's just too chaotic and stressful for me personally. Some people may love the chaos, but I don't do that anymore. I don't like that anymore myself. So in my own life, when I have known it was time for me to leave a nursing home or a position and go work somewhere else, it has been such a relief to know that, you know what, there's probably a lot of open doors and other opportunities out there, and I just need to apply and see what happens. And very quickly, I start getting responses for interviews. Being a nursing assistant is a great stepping stone in your own career growth, to just figure out what it is you like, what it is you don't like, and see if healthcare or nursing would be a good fit for you. For under relatively $1,000 to gain entry into a new field that I didn't know about, I didn't have a lot of experience about, gaining the hands-on training and the tools and all of that, becoming certified and having this tool to be able to allow me entry into the workforce and job security and be able to pay all my bills and even move around and try different things and still get jobs. For somebody wanting to try something new and you don't want to spend a ton of money, I see it as something very valuable. You don't have to work as a CNA forever if you don't like it. You may not even want to go on into nursing school while working as a nursing assistant. I've met several people who have worked as a nursing assistant and they're actually not interested in nursing anymore and they want to pivot. They begin to become interested in other areas of healthcare like radiology, or they want to go into medical assisting and they don't want to do LPN track. They don't want to become an RN. They want to go on to do something else, phlebotomy or something like that. There's other options out there, and nursing is not the path for everybody. So as far as career growth and just wanting to get your foot in the door, I feel like it is very valuable to try. The program that I took to become a nursing assistant, I took it at a community college where I was located. I took mine over the summer, and I believe it was about 2 to 3 months worth of my time, as well as the resources and the cost of the college course and all of that, the testing fees. But it's not a long time to see a return on your investment. Working as a nursing assistant in my own experience has helped me grow professionally a ton. I have learned a whole lot about time management, communication, infection control, documentation, working with others who have different scopes of practice than myself, working in environments where I am working directly with LPNs, working with nurses, RNs, and working around other members of the healthcare team. You might work in a place where you're working around the social workers. You might be working around physical therapists. There's so many others involved in a patient's care, right? So working as a nursing assistant can expose you to working with different kinds of people and also being able to see different kinds of things, communicating differently, reporting things, documentation, medical charting. All of those things are very valuable. But if you want to grow professionally, I would definitely recommend becoming a nursing assistant assistant, because you will learn to use your critical thinking skills and your best judgment, your wise judgment as far as taking care of other human beings, noticing when something is wrong. You will be heightening your senses and become keen to discerning whether or not something needs your attention or not, when something is timely, or conflict resolution as well among patients to staff or staff to staff. There's just a lot of those things involved in this kind of work. With all of that said, I do feel like being a CNA is great for professional and career development. Next part of the video will also coincide with my spiritual perspective on nursing and healthcare, and these bits are going to be probably my favorite parts of the video. So I pray that you will stay tuned for this, because I feel like this is very valuable information. In my own life, working as a nursing assistant, this whole experience has refined me and pruned me and purified things out of me that needed to come out, and has overall made me so much more of a more compassionate, empathetic, patient, loving, and kind human being. Like, it has really done a healing work in my soul, being able to help other people and serve them, and having my eyes opened to so many things about our humanity, how fragile human beings are, the vulnerable moments that people can experience in life when others are losing their dependence and relying on another person, and what that looks like in the caregiver's role to be the hands and feet in place for that person, and the trust that is built there, providing safe, quality care for that other person, honoring them with respect and dignity, and becoming somebody who can be patient, who can be tolerable, who can be there to support others. It's a very selfless work to be a nursing assistant. In that said, this will not be for everybody. There's a whole lot of humility that comes with being a nursing assistant. This coincides with my faith as a Christian, and this has only developed deeper over the years of me understanding what that has been like in my own life personally. Coming into healthcare and coming in as a nursing assistant, I was naive in a lot of ways. I really didn't know what to expect, what kind of scenarios and scenes I might walk into, what working in a memory care would be like, working with people who have cognitive impairment or other coinciding diseases and illnesses that can cause damage in the brain, that can trigger different behavioral responses, which can make people do things, say things, which then gives results of some different kinds of human behavior that you can see. When I first started out 4 years ago, I did not have a lot of knowledge at all of what to expect as far as the tasks in the serving and what that would look like. Swirling over the internet, people talk about CNAs doing the dirty work and dealing with all the smells and the bodily fluids. In reality, that is the truth. In a lot of the settings that you will work as a nursing assistant, you can expect to be directly involved in hands-on patient care, handling bodily fluids, cleaning somebody up. Somebody has an accident, somebody has made a mess, and they're in a vulnerable situation. They're completely dependent or partially dependent on another person to come in and to help them with that. This whole experience has refined me as a person and has made me way more empathetic and compassionate and patient with other people, and it has not always been easy to go through this and to learn these things and to be involved in this way, but I'm so grateful for the experience, because now I see 4 years later versus where I was 4 years ago, just fresh into healthcare, didn't know anything. Though it came very naturally to me and I received praises in my work that I was doing to help other people, I have learned and grown so much over the last several years. And I am sharing this character development part as a pro because in my own life, this is experience that nobody can take away. These are not things that you will learn going to school and reading a book and watching a PowerPoint screen flip through and flip by. These are real human lives. This is you taking care of a person directly, hands-on care, you interacting with another person, seeing all the elements that are involved in patient care. It requires you to be very present. You're in tune with this other person, the environment, the emotions, how they're feeling, what they might be going through. I truly believe that being a nursing assistant will refine someone's heart to become more like gold and to become more pure. Unless you are somebody who truly does not love other people, then maybe it wouldn't work for you. But if you are somebody who cares about other people, who enjoys serving, doing this kind of work will grow you and strengthen you and change who you are and mature you and develop in you more situational awareness of other people. What I mean by that is empathy and compassion and gentleness and respect and dignity for other people, helping others and selflessness. A lot of this stuff is not learned in a classroom setting. It is only learned by you working and showing up and being the hands and feet there and being the person who is involved in this other person's life, serving them and giving them care. And as a Christian, working as a nursing assistant has grown my faith so much more in the Lord and has helped me to understand Him and what Christ means when He says He did not come here to be served on this earth, but He came to serve. In that service, we find purpose. We find what life is really all about. We find those meaningful moments. It does not mean that it is all rainbows and butterflies and sunshine and there's no challenges, struggles, or tears, or the caregiver's burden of helping others, seeing suffering, seeing illness, seeing people decline, working in end-of-life care like myself. It doesn't mean that we won't have our struggles, but this has opened my eyes spiritually so much in my relationship with God and has helped me to further develop a why for why I do this work. Why do I want to work in nursing? Why do I want to work in healthcare? Why do I keep coming back and showing up to do this work? Why have I kept pursuing it? There's definitely a heart awakening and opening that needs to be there to do this work and be passionate about it and to really pour yourself into it and to find joy and happiness and peace. And sometimes what can be environments that feel very depressing or that can feel very sad or stressful. There's a lot of people that work in healthcare that can come across as they're very miserable. Whatever their personal circumstance is, I have witnessed a lot of people in these environments showing up for work, but they do not seem happy to be there, and in whatever way they are struggling, it is projecting on to other people, other staff, the patients, and sometimes the environments can feel very, very heavy. So when you have a heart that wants to help other people and care for people, I feel like it will come a lot more easy. As a believer, when you understand service in the Bible and that Christ, God, the creator of all, has designed life to be built on service and how serving other people gives us mission and gives us purpose, has given my life a whole new meaning. There have been times even in working as a CNA where I didn't want to do it anymore for a variety of different reasons because it's a lot of hard work to work as a CNA. A lot of the times the CNAs are very overworked and there's a ton of tasks to do and it is underpaid, and it's not only about the physical work, but it's also the emotional burdens that one can hold and bear working as a caregiver in the nursing field. And so there was several times where I wanted to go and do something different, but what has drawn me back is the meaningfulness of serving others in this way and the reward that comes with helping other people selflessly. A spiritual perspective of being a CNA, this has helped me a ton to grow closer to God by looking for the glimmers of light and joy and meaningful moments, in moments where there is suffering, darkness, maybe misery around me. People are not feeling well. Maybe it's coworkers have not been feeling well, but I can always find the Lord in every single moment. The Holy Spirit will come in a patient room. I will feel His presence so strongly, can receive the joy of the Lord in moments where it just surpasses understanding. I can remember even way back working during COVID at a memory care unit, which it was so sad and so depressing because patients would begin to decline faster. The building would be on lockdown. People had to stay in their rooms. They could not come out to eat in the dining room. They would become so depressed, so sad. The energy in there was so dark and just so heavy, and we'd have to, of course, put on our PPE and change all the routines. It just made working so much more difficult. It made the lives of these people so much more difficult. People would be missing their families and visitors would be limited to restricted completely. And it was just a really dark time. So all of that, I would still show up and I would still be given the strength and I could still find the love of God in these moments. That has been really eye-opening for me and has built my trust in God, because if I can still experience His love and the glimmers of joy and happiness in meaningful moments while working in hard conditions and in these environments where there's a lot of darkness and all of that, in all of those moments, it has built my trust in God. It has brought me closer to Him because I know truly He means what He says. When God is with us, He is with us wherever we go, no matter what, wherever you are, helping other people, whatever environment you are in, He is there in the midst of it. My perspective on life has changed so much since becoming a nursing assistant. And this has come from being around people primarily who are geriatric, who are elderly, working around a lot of end-of-life care. It has caused me to reflect so much on the meaning of life, what is valuable to me, what do I really care about in my life, because I'm consciously aware while seeing other people decline and age that time is precious. We're only here for so long. We're given one life. How do we want to live this life? What is truly meaningful to us? How do we want to spend our time, etc.? It's really changed my perspective and has helped me grow as a person in that way, because now I make way more healthy choices. I'm way more health conscious in general, and I am learning to continually grow and making more intentional choices and purpose-driven choices with my life. Not only has my relationship with God become stronger, but in that, this whole experience and just seeing the different things I have seen through my eyes, through this lens as a nursing assistant, different illnesses, aging, suffering, ways that people live life, things that can happen to people. There's a lot of unknown that can happen in life. There's people who end up with these horrific conditions and diseases when it has not been something they have chosen. So all of this has helped me to develop a further gratitude in life, to acknowledge the things that I am grateful for, to acknowledge my blessings, to have more of a cup half full mentality in life, and to praise the Lord for the things that I already have in life, for the things that I have been given. It has made me way more aware of the comforts that I have in my life, of the freedoms I have in my life, the health that I have in my life, for sure. That's been something that's very much evolved over the last couple years working as a CNA, working out way more, taking advantage of getting my steps in, going outside, doing the hobbies and interests that I love to do. My love for healthy food and eating whole foods has definitely grown and developed more over the years just working in this field and becoming more health conscious, as well as my relationship growing with God, really understanding that we have this one temple, we have this one body. We don't control always everything that happens to it, but there is a lot of things that are within our control. When it comes to habits, when it comes to what we watch, when it comes to what we eat, there are things that we can do that are within our control that can help us to live more healthy and better lives overall. Working as a CNA also has made me way more aware of what healthy relationships look like in my life, people I want to have in my life and people who I do not want to have in my life, because of the renewal that has taken place in my mind of just a heightened awareness that our lives are really precious and time is precious, and we only have so much time and energy to give to certain things or to give to people. So for those who we really love and adore, to make sure that we are being intentional with our time and communicating with them and telling them that we love them, as well as being mindful of who we do not want in our life. This all comes from me just being more aware of that our lives do come to an end at some point. And I don't say that to be negative. I say that through the lens of somebody who I currently work in hospice care, so end of life care, which I've worked in the past and been around a lot of suffering and seen people die and seen people, near their ends of life. And it has just been, I know it's been the Lord opening my spiritual eyes and opening the eyes of my understanding to understand that we only have so much time. Not to be fearful, not to be freaking out and paranoid, but to be mindful and to be more intentional and purposeful with how I live my life personally. Understanding that every day is a gift and understanding the freedoms and the things we have been given, understanding the blessings that we already have. I have seen such an improvement in my own life with this new perspective and the life experience that I have gained while working as a CNA. I've experienced such an improvement overall in giving more mindfulness and more attention to the blessings in gratitude and praises to God for things I often would overlook and just never think about, take for granted even, not even consider to be something I would even acknowledge or give praise for, down to the little things. This job has helped me grow in so many ways. And so for that reason as well, I would highly recommend becoming a nursing assistant, because it will open your eyes spiritually, it will open your eyes to life perspectives, it will open your eyes to gratitude and abundance, and be able to acknowledge more blessings that we are already given in our lives. Working as a nursing assistant is truly an honor to be able to help other people and serve them in this way, and has truly changed my life in so many ways, and has brought meaningfulness, it has brought purpose, it has brought more love into my heart, it has helped me to become a more compassionate and kind, empathetic human being, as well as providing new open doors, job security, other opportunities for growth, and a pathway ultimately that has led me to a new life and a whole new career in my journey of becoming a nurse. So I pray that this video was helpful and beneficial to you in some way, that you were able to pull some value out of it. If you have anything to share, I would love to hear it in the comments below, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.